Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Easy Stories. Today, I want to tell you a story about a boy who did not speak well, who struggled in school, and who failed again and again. Many people thought he would never succeed. But this same boy grew up to change the world with his ideas. His name was Thomas Edison, and his story is not just about inventions. It is a story about patience, hard work, and never giving up, even when life feels difficult. If you enjoy stories like this, please subscribe to Easy Stories. Thomas Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in a small town called Milan, in the state of Ohio, in the United States. He was the youngest of 7 children in his family. His father, Samuel Edison, worked hard to support the family, and his mother, Nancy Edison, was a schoolteacher. She was kind, patient, and believed deeply in her son. As a child, Thomas was very curious. He always asked questions. He wanted to know how things worked. Why does the wind blow? Why does fire burn? Why do birds fly? Sometimes, he asked so many questions that people around him became tired. But his mother never got tired. She listened to him and encouraged him. Thomas went to school, but he did not stay there for long. His teacher thought he was too slow. One day, the teacher told his mother that Thomas was not smart enough for school. This hurt deeply. But his mother did something very important. She took him out of school and decided to teach him at home. At home, Thomas felt safe. His mother taught him reading, writing, and thinking. But more than that, she taught him to believe in himself. She gave him books and allowed him to explore ideas. This was the beginning of his true education. As he grew older, Thomas became more interested in science. He set up a small laboratory in his house. He collected bottles, chemicals, and tools. Sometimes, his experiments made a mess. Sometimes, they failed. But Thomas did not stop. He kept trying. When he was about 12 years old, Thomas started working. He sold newspapers and candy on trains. While other boys played, Thomas worked. But even at work, he did not stop learning. He read books during quiet times. He even set up a small printing press on the train and started his own newspaper. It was one of the first newspapers ever printed on a moving train. But life was not always easy. One day, while he was working on the train, a chemical spilled and caused a small fire. The train staff became angry and threw him off the train. They also removed all his equipment. It was a big loss for him. But again, Thomas did not give up. Around this time, something else happened. Thomas began to lose his hearing. Slowly, he became almost deaf. For many people, this would be a terrible problem. But Thomas saw it in a different way. He said that being deaf helped him focus better. He was less distracted by noise. He could think more clearly. This was an important turning point in his life. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he turned his weakness into strength. As a young man, Thomas became interested in telegraph machines. These machines sent messages over long distances using electric signals. He worked as a telegraph operator in different cities. During the day, he worked. At night, he experimented. He failed many times. His machines did not always work. Sometimes, people laughed at him. Sometimes, he had no money. But each failure taught him something new. He once said that he did not fail. He just found ways that did not work. One of his early inventions was an improved telegraph machine. It could send multiple messages at the same time. This invention helped him earn his first big money. With this money, he built his own laboratory. Now, things began to change. Thomas Edison started working with a team of people. Together, they experimented day and night. His laboratory became a place of ideas, energy, and constant work. He believed that invention was not magic. It was hard work. Very hard work. Then came one of the most important challenges of his life. He wanted to create a practical electric light bulb. At that time, people used candles and oil lamps. They were dangerous and not very bright. Many scientists had tried to create an electric light, but they had failed. Thomas decided to try. He tested many materials to find the right one for the bulb. He tested hundreds, then thousands. Each time, the bulb would burn out too quickly. It did not last. People started to doubt him. They said it was impossible. But Thomas did not stop. He and his team worked for long hours. Sometimes, they slept in the lab. They tested material after material. Bamboo, cotton, metal, and more. Each test was a small step forward. After many, many attempts, they finally found a solution. They created a light bulb that could last longer. It was not perfect, but it worked. This was the moment that changed everything. The electric light bulb made Thomas Edison famous. It changed the way people lived. Streets became brighter. Homes became safer. People could work and read at night more easily. It was not just an invention. It was a new way of life. But Thomas did not stop there. He continued to invent. He worked on sound recording and created the phonograph, a machine that could record and play sound. Imagine hearing your own voice played back for the first time. It was magical for people at that time. He also improved motion picture technology, helping to create early films. His ideas touched many parts of life. Even though he became famous and successful, his life was not always easy. He still faced failures. Some of his ideas did not work. Some of his businesses failed. But he never stopped trying. Thomas Edison believed in effort. He believed that success comes from hard work. He once said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% hard work. For him, ideas were important, but work was more important. In his later years, Thomas Edison became one of the most respected inventors in the world. People admired him not just for his inventions, but for his spirit. He showed that failure is not the end. It is part of the journey. He passed away on October 18, 1931. But his legacy lives on. Every time we turn on a light, we remember his work. Every time we listen to recorded sound, we see his impact. My friends, the story of Thomas Edison teaches us many lessons. It teaches us that failure is not something to fear. It teaches us that hard work can change our lives. It teaches us that even if others do not believe in us, we must believe in ourselves. Let us remember his journey. A boy who struggled in school. A young man who failed many times. a person who did not give up, and finally, a man who changed the world. So, my friends, what inspired you the most about his story? Thank you for listening, my friends. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.